Alright, so last night the entire NHL was like, we are going to overtime! Both games go to overtime. Now, first things first, congratulations to the NHL for somehow managing to take two games that everybody wanted to watch and basically scheduling them at the same exact time. It worked out, kind of, sort of, a little bit where, you know, the overtime for Boston and the Islanders was kind of in a position where you could watch it. But basically, if you wanted to watch both games, split screen was the only way to do anything. Now, in terms of both of those series, Boston, Islanders, Rask, Varlamov, Canes, Mrazek, Tampa, Vasilevsky. What we are seeing across the board is the goaltenders, and the goaltenders. And one other thing, but the goaltenders obviously, look, watching these four goaltenders makes me wonder what any of us in Florida were smoking, thinking the Panthers had any chance the way Bobrovsky had been playing. And Drieger, good goaltender, was better than Bob, but the only guy we have a chance of playing at the level I'm seeing those four goalies play at right now is Spencer Knight. So we'll see where that heads to. The other thing I'm noticing, compared to the Panthers, of course, is that I think I figured out a couple of things here, and maybe, you know, you guys have already figured this out as well. But when I do the recaps, I don't have a lot of in-depth time to analyze things, so I don't talk about these things a lot. But especially where like Tampa is concerned, watching Colorado's top people, watching Boston's top people, the skill players that they have, their elite skill players, are just a hair, just a couple percentage points better than our elite skill players. But that slight difference makes the difference between team like Boston, team like Tampa. They can kind of play 40 minutes of hockey and still win a game, right? All right, you saw it the other night in the overtime with Colorado and Vegas. Vegas dominated the third period and just could not get one in the net past Grubauer. So Colorado comes out in the overtime, and did Vegas touch the puck in overtime? It was just an absolute. They made up their minds. This is what we're going to do. We're going to win this game, and that's the end of that. And they did. And the point is that the Panthers' elite players just haven't quite figured out how to take their game to that next level against elite competition. All right? If it's game 40 and we need to make a comeback from 2-0 against the team that's lesser than us, no problem. Barkov, Huberdeau, and company look like we're dominating. And we go out there and they put the pedal to the metal and we win the game going away 4-2. But until they figure out how to do that in the playoffs, we will continue to be sitting watching and admiring the other teams. So, one thing right here in the middle I want to say, Scheifele, 4 games. Evans actually didn't have to go to the hospital, and he's supposedly out indefinitely with a concussion. If you watched my video yesterday, I kind of thought maybe we should just give him 5 games and then there would be an appeal. It looks like it's just going to be 4 games, and that's what it's going to stick to. I was surprised. I know a lot of people kind of thought you're going to give him 2 games. 4 is a lot of games, especially in the playoffs, especially for a guy with no history, and especially compared to what they've been giving out for suspensions the rest of this season. It's like, obviously they figured, okay, enough is enough, and we're going to make an example of somebody, and that's what it is. The other thing with that video from yesterday, I've noticed this. Anytime I make a video that involves the Montreal Canadiens, the thumbs down crew goes batshit crazy, okay? Almost all of the worst videos I have in terms of thumbs down involve the Montreal Canadiens. So, you guys now become my least favorite team. I don't know what it is about that specific breed of Canadian fan, but they seem to bitch and complain a lot in the comment section too. They don't like me. So fine, I don't like you guys either. What else? In terms of the series that I'm seeing now, don't shoot the messenger. I think Vegas is going to come back and put that game. I'm not saying Vegas is going to win, but I think Vegas is going to get this thing to Game 7. That's my thought. Carolina last night absolutely saved themselves in overtime. Sebastian Aho gets the game winner in overtime. Boy, that would have been it. That would have been 3-0, and that would have been kaputs. And now Canes have a chance to come back and tie that series. You know, yeah, kind of, sort of, it's the same script as the Panthers. I get it, but Canes are better than the Panthers. I'd love to see that series get tied up and go to 7. As far as Boston and the Islanders are concerned, I think Tuukka Rask is on a mission. That's enough said. And then with Winnipeg and Montreal, Montreal just somehow, you know, they go through Edmonton, and now they're up on Winnipeg, and obviously they're going to be motivated, and it's going to be highly emotional. And you might see Winnipeg's players almost back off, even just, you know, 5-10%. You know, the players are human. Stuff like that happens. So I fully expect the Canadians to advance, which nobody in their right mind had. But they're playing well, and Carey Price has decided to get into a time machine and go backwards. So good luck to you guys. Other than that, that was it. I just wanted to come on. I'm trying to make content every day. If something happens in the NHL, I'm going to cover it like I did with the Scheifele thing. I still see a ton of different view takes. You know, I'm pretty much sticking with what I said yesterday. You know, clear intent to hit, but the intent to injure part, that's why I thought maybe it'd be mitigated down to maybe only 2 games. 4 is a lot of games for a guy with no history and questionable intent. And, you know, the thing about that hit, I watched literally 15, 20 different channels, different takes, different angles, and slowing it down and the whole thing. And that's one of those hits that whatever your opinion is, you can show video that supports your opinion. If you say he skated the whole length of the ice and it was a dirty late hit, you probably could put together an angle that makes it look that way. If you say, like me, where obviously he meant to hit him but didn't meant to injury, you know, you could put together a film that looks that way. And then, of course, there's the whole question of why he slowed down and couldn't stop the goal. I just think it's just one of those hits where there's no way to know. There's no right or wrong. Obviously, the majority of people think, at the very least, it was late or dirty. I'm still not 100%. You know, dirty. Look, it's like any other adjective, right? It's like what dirty means to me doesn't mean the same to you, doesn't mean the same to them. So it's all subjective anyway. I don't think, obviously, Scheifele's a dirty player. I think he got caught in no man's land mentally with what he wanted to do. Somebody on Twitter mentioned that a couple minutes earlier than that, there had been a scrum where he had gotten choked and he had been choking somebody else, and he was the only one that had a penalty called against him, and he was pretty pissed off. So if that's the case, then you could definitely see, obviously, where you would have had intent to hit. But nobody has intent to knock the guy out, and it's just a mess. It's just a shame that it had to happen, because that was shaping up to be a really good series, and now it's going to be controversial one way or another. But hopefully Jake Evans can come back. He's got a concussion, so I mean, even in a regular season, normally that's 10 days, 2 weeks. So at the best, I think you're looking at, if Evans can come back, it wouldn't be in this series. So. All right, that was enough for that. Appreciate everybody's support. Like, share, subscribe. If you enjoy the content, I'm going to do everything I can to keep up with daily content. I'm going to have the Discord for the Patreon up by the end of this weekend. And these games are getting good. They're getting a lot of fun, man. So, last thing real quick. I know a couple people have been asking for a live stream. Today's Friday. I'm going to try to do one tomorrow. Let me see how I feel. I'm nursing a migraine right now, because the pollen outside has just gone crazy. If I feel okay, I'll let everybody know tomorrow. I can make community posts now. Let me say that. Now that I have the 1,000 subscribers, I can make a community post. So that's one of those text posts that you see YouTubers make. Pay attention to those if you're interested in the content, because like a day like tomorrow, I'm not going to know if I'm going to do the live stream until sometime tomorrow. So like if at noon I figure out that I'm going to do one before a game or something, I'm going to make a post about it on YouTube. So if you see that come up and you're looking for content, click on it and just read what I've written. And I might actually do a couple of polls or whatever, add a little bit of depth to the channel. So, all right, that was that. Appreciate everybody's support. I'll see you again tomorrow.